Fish connection, and then you get the hermit. You kind of, at least I got it. I was like, oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, and some people, you know, I mean, these guys can attest, these parents that come to my dance shows every year, you know, you don't know what's going on. But if it's beautiful, it's beautiful, you know?
I think even though that might even be part of the impact to the audience of that turmoil.
Yeah.
And that added
and
flow
just
that was going in your head.
dancers coming out and doing all this stuff in the ocean. I mean, it could be an amazing piece if I plan it properly.
What moment was the figuring out that it was fish? Was there like a particular moment, like where it was like
when you lost one?
Very end.
That's when it clicked for me. When you lost one, I was like, oh, I got it. School of fish. You lost one, and everybody was upset.
Well, I knew you was a hermit crab. I had to think about, once he said bottom feeder, I kind of figured you were fish.
Yeah. There's a couple, I mean, there are a couple lines that we
there are a couple, yeah.
I do like the story maybe whatever you want. Yeah, you know,
excuse me?
I like the turmoil, because it can be whatever you want, whatever fits into your personal life or your...
right, and that's exactly what we're going for.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why we didn't want to tell you guys is, you know, I mean, for me as an instructor here at Three Rivers, I came here about 2.5 years ago, and there's a student-run group that doesn't do too much here, but that was my goal. You know, I'm a teacher. We're in a learning institution. Like, okay, let's give these guys an outlet to you know, have so we can all work together. I'm learning just as much as they're learning in this process, and my goal for this company would be, you know, just bring this stuff out, and if people want to be involved, well then fantastic. If I had one person, it would be worth it for me, because we're both, you know, working together, and it's becoming, you know, a project that we'll never forget, you know, and that's my goal, you know. Of course, my dream to have my own company and, you know, blah blah blah. But really, when it comes down to it, these are my students, you know. I want them to grow, and I want to grow myself, you know, as an artist. So the more people I work with, the more people they work with, we're all just, you know, in it together, you know.
You have a question or comment?
Why is your character so cranky?
Basically, long story short, this has taken a lot of development. He's been sitting alone at the bottom of the ocean for years now, watching similar crowds of fish flittering above him and being very, very stupid. And this bugs him. Yes.
Long story short.
I'm just so relieved that you are not what my first thought was, which was a serial killer.
It might change to that.
Lots of different personalities bullying you to kill people. I'm thinking, where the heck is this going?
We should have been in the 5 o'clock before. We're not sure where this is going. You know, the setting has to stay the same because, well, I guess it doesn't, but in my mind, the ocean is where it's staying. But
yeah, the setting is really important for the themes.
It is, because of my movement, the setting is very important, and since I'm, you know, my strengths are movement, and I'm incorporating dancers, we're probably going to keep the ocean theme, but, you know, this can go a lot of different ways, and I can't wait to meet with these guys again to, you know, really work it out, because these showings and your feedback has been just tremendous and helpful. Anyone else have any comments, questions?
Good stuff, bad stuff.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I don't know if how much is coincidence or not, but these paintings are very love movie paintings, you know?
Someone else brought that up.
Really locked out in the exhibit. Nothing to do with us, but I think it's awesome.
It works. Yeah. And that just, you know, I just find it obvious, you know, yeah, of course it works, you know. It has to. So I'm expensive.
Very certain.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, do you have another comment?
Just, I like the fact that you have the cursing lines.
Yeah.
I like that. It gives that
Mom.
one character something that's over there.
Yeah.
Compared to
And you
everybody
can
else.
that.
I can
That's really good. No, I'll be honest, God's honest truth, I read the script and and I actually had my colleague from UConn come this afternoon to work with us. He's a PhD in theater and just an amazing, big time director, actor, blah, blah, blah. I won't give you his resume, but he came over and he's like, I got my PhD, I don't even understand this. So, we hear you. We hear you, yes.
Why is everyone black?
Just kind of going for,
Yeah.
something unified. This, I think it felt a lot better without any costumes and too much, difference between what people were wearing might make people focus on what people are wearing rather than what they're saying and doing.
We don't have a budget on costumes.
That's the real reason.
It's really important for the school to all be the same,
Yeah.
because we're the same in our actions and the same in our, doing, but we're not the same internally. That's kind of the struggle. And then the hermit, well, he's just depressed, George.
I've done this several times with performances. When a director goes into a showing like this, but you don't really want anyone to concentrate on set or design or costume, it's just better to put them in black so they can really concentrate on the movement and stuff. It's just, especially in this white room, it just brings out the people more effectively. And that was just a choice that I usually make if we don't have a budget, if we don't have the time to make our costumes. It's just a choice that I always say, because everyone has black. They don't have to go to the store and buy it, and it's just, it makes it, in my opinion, just easier to see as a director.
So, this is for Richard.
Yeah.
Richard, did you have this a completed scene, or did you write the scene as you guys were working on it over the weeks?
As we were working on it, it was getting written. So we would do the acting, everything was written up until that point, and then I'd go home and write more. So it was.
Lots of editing. Yeah, we'd say, this scene doesn't work.
So cutting out things out.
Richard loves to write a lot. So I always come in and edit, and we probably would have been going for another half an hour even if we didn't edit, but
The first draft of this, everyone talked like him.
that's a
I'm not even kidding. I'm
Yes,
so
you're
sorry.
Yes, you are. She's
so
exaggerating, but
okay.
you did.
I did. Okay, I did.
No, and you know what? The process was very intense because of it. Because every Thursday night we had rehearsals on Friday, just Friday for for about a month. Every Thursday night, like 11 p.m., I'd get the script, so I could get midnight, ask my daughter. I'm like, I gotta print out the script. And we'd go to rehearsal on Friday with new stuff every time because we make edits in the rehearsal, then he'd have to write more, and it would just be ebb and flow, and it was really intense. We had to make rehearsals more often, 2 times a week, then 3 times a week, just because it was so much information for these guys to handle.
And through that process, the story actually changed. It wasn't much happier story at the beginning, but it was very important.
She loves tragedy.
That's my dance moms. I lose like the 3-year-olds that want tutus because we're doing war pieces and I don't like her baby. They want to have anything stuff.
It turned out much better. What's amazing is, because it was written scene by scene, there's all these foreshadowing and callbacks that were not planned. So it's just through Richard's great writing that stuff happened. I remember the moment when we realized that I had a poem at the end and that it could connect to 3's death. There was light bulb moment.
Yeah.
It was important. Yeah, what else would it be? And then you have 3 different
And it was
mantras
funny.
and 3 different homes.
Yeah, it was really funny when working with these guys, especially, you know, on a week-to-week basis with new stuff. The movement, you know, I'm used to having my music, you know, and knowing what's gonna happen next, but to work in a process that, you know, every week we're adding and then it just works out, it just was beautiful.
Yeah, there was some, crazy blocking, you know, where
Yeah.
this week just went, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is great blocking for like really dramatic scenes.
Yeah.
So,
Will everyone die in the end?
we considered that.
Yeah,
we
that was an
actually
option.
did. This is actually
These two
happening.
died, but no one else died.
At one point, the hermit was not going to die because he was just kind of leaving.
We got into lots of arguments about how many people were going to die, when they were going to die.
At one point, the whole family.
I had one and everyone died.
Literally, he was going to disappear. All the other family was going to die, and then I would be crazy on the chicks.
See, the thing is, in the end, they decided that they would not kill off, we decided we would not kill off him because that was more tragic. So.
So here's, I totally forgot this, Zach, at the end, you sat in the chair.
I assume that.
Did you can't become a hermit crab for being a minute.
This is the surrealist kind of aspect.
Okay.
That I become like his,
Protege.
his protege, his philosophical son, because I've dealt with the same kind of tragedy that he has, and then I assume his, his position. And kind of, at least the assumption I have is that his story becomes my story, and that the same thing that happened to him now happens to me. That now I'm there because I can't handle the superficial stuff that other people are dealing with because I
Superficial.
Yeah.
But if you think about the ocean in general, and since we have saltwater tanks, when the hermit crab dies, he vacates the shell. The shell will always be there, and any individual fish will take over the shell until another hermit crab comes in.
That's cool. I like that.
Fish will do that. They're actually not in the ocean, but in the freshwater. There are breed of cichlids that live specifically in shells. They're called shell dwellers, and they will try to get